For years we were told that once you turn 70, pain is an inevitable companion and painkillers are the price you pay to keep going. But the science of healthy aging shows something different. The body still has a real capacity to regain mobility, modulate inflammation, and build well-being, so long as we support it with smart habits and informed decisions. The purpose of this video is clear and direct: to understand the hidden risks of the most common painkillers in later life, and to reveal a simple, natural, practical plan to bring vitality back to the center of your daily life without blindly depending on a pill. I'm speaking as a wellness and longevity guide, not as a physician. My intention is to give you clarity, to have better conversations with your health professionals, and above all, to help you restore confidence in your body. Let's start by breaking the myth at the heart of this topic. If it hurts, just take something. It's harmless. That familiar phrase ignores that at 70, your body doesn't process medications the way it did at 30, and the same dose can have very different effects. It also overlooks that pain isn't always an enemy to silence. Sometimes it's a messenger asking you to change how you move, rest, nourish yourself, and manage stress. When we understand this, we stop fighting our bodies and start collaborating with them. Now let's set the scene honestly. Maybe you wake up stiff, with a tight back, knees that complain on the stairs, or hands that burn when you twist open a jar. Maybe there's constant fatigue, slow circulation in the legs, or an energy curve that crashes after midday. Sometimes insecurity creeps in. You avoid walking outside for fear of a stumble, and on other days the nighttime ache breaks your sleep. In that scenario, a painkiller feels like an easy door. And yes, it can relieve. But in later life, the quick exit can turn into a long hallway of silent risks: drowsiness that invites falls, dizziness on standing, subtle confusion mistaken for just getting older, constipation that blunts appetite, heartburn that erodes your calm, unexplained blood pressure creep, or ankle swelling that makes you give up your walk. This isn't alarmism. It's everyday reality when use is frequent, prolonged, or not paired with a clear support strategy. Let's talk about the most popular and least understood group: common nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These are the tablets for back or knee pain that promise to deflate, and for a few hours make you feel like before. In older adults, they can irritate the stomach lining, raise the risk of gastrointestinal bleeding, elevate blood pressure, and ask more of the kidneys. The detail many miss is taking them just in case before a long walk or to sleep through the night, not realizing that nighttime is precisely when hydration is lower and the kidneys have less margin. Repeating that habit can become very costly to your well-being. Another group are centrally acting pain relievers that change how the brain perceives pain. In later life, small doses can cause daytime sleepiness, gait instability, and fogged reaction time. Picture a low windowsill by the bed. No problem until one night you stand up too fast and, groggy, bump into it. A fall at 72 isn't a simple scare. It can mean weeks of recovery and a loss of confidence in your movement. And confidence in longevity is medicine in its own right. Even gentle medications deserve attention. Acetaminophen/paracetamol is often perceived as harmless. Yet doubling a dose because today hurts more, or combining different brand products without reading labels, can lead, without realizing it, to an excess your liver has to handle. At 70, the safety margin still exists, but it's narrower if you're on other medications, had a heavy dinner, have a liver that simply lived many years, or you're underhydrated. What went unnoticed at 30 can leave traces at 70 that take time to show up. Add polypharmacy to the mix: a painkiller crossing paths with a blood thinner, a stomach protector, a blood pressure pill, and something for sleep. Discrete interactions begin to drain you. They don't shout, they whisper. They show up as "I feel off." That off often means your nervous system is dimmed during the day, circulation is lazier than usual, and your body's balance loses precision. If you've ever said, "Since I started that pill, I trip more," it may not have been your imagination. That's the risk snapshot. But this video isn't to scare you. It's to give you simple, real tools. Here's a concrete, low-cost natural resource that anchors the whole solution, the 3x9 habit. It consists of 3 daily blocks of 9 minutes each that act like a natural pain reliever, an everyday anti-inflammatory, and a builder of movement confidence. It's a flexible template that doesn't compete with the treatments you already have. It organizes and enhances them. It works like this: 9 minutes of gentle mobility in the morning, 9 minutes of isometric strength in the afternoon, and 9 minutes of slow breathing with local warmth at night. 3 micro-interventions that, together, retrain pain, inflammation, circulation, and sleep, the 4 keys to vitality in later life. Before breaking it down, note 2 rules that hold the method together. First, the body resets with consistency, not heroics. Small daily doses are more powerful than a Sunday epic. Second, pain is negotiated, not shouted down. If you jump from 0 to 100, the body defends itself. If you nudge from 5 to 6, the body cooperates. The first block, 9 minutes of gentle mobility on waking. Think of opening windows from the inside. Your joints have been still all night, and the fascia, the web-wrapping muscles and organs, has creased. Gentle mobility unfolds those creases. This isn't strong stretching, it's inviting movement. 5 movements shape this block. Ankle circles while seated, knees gliding back and forth like small waves, hips swaying with the pelvis, shoulders drawing slow circles, and the neck turning to each side. Yes and no, with respect. 9 minutes is enough to get blood moving a little brighter, drop stiffness a notch, and send a clear message to your mind. Today we move without fear. The second block comes in the afternoon, when energy often dips. 9 minutes of isometric strength. Isometrics are a gift in later life because they protect joints and train muscles without impact by holding brief contractions against a fixed resistance. Think of gently pushing your palms into a wall for 10 seconds, squeezing a towel between your hands at chest height, pressing your knees into a cushion while seated, holding a resistance band with arms extended and maintaining that hold, or doing a gentle floor bridge where your abdomen supports a slight pelvic lift for a few seconds. These moves wake pain-dampening receptors in the joints and strengthen muscular chains that stabilize the body. 9 minutes is enough to tell your nervous system, you can trust your legs and your back. The third block closes the day, 9 minutes of slow breathing with local warmth. Place a warm, never hot, compress over your most talkative area, maybe your lower back or knee, and breathe in a 4 to 6 rhythm. Inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 6. The longer exhale activates your natural brake, the parasympathetic system. After 3 minutes, your heart rate eases. By 6, your shoulders stop creeping up. By 9, your pain threshold rises a little. That little is enough to sleep better. In later life, sleep is primary medicine. Night pain often settles not with more pills, but with a nervous system window telling the brain, we're safe. The 3x9 habit creates ripple effects. First proven benefit, better peripheral circulation. Morning mobility invites blood through pathways that narrow when unused. Isometric strength, by contracting and releasing, acts as a gentle muscle pump that supports venous return without lightheadedness. Slow breathing softens microvessels through its calming effect. Together, lighter legs, nimbler hands, and a clearer head by day's end. Not magic, applied physiology. Second benefit, dialing down low-grade inflammation, that persistent ember that doesn't burn your skin but keeps pain lit. 2 steady breaths put it out. intelligent movement, and anti-inflammatory nourishment. Here we add a simple food that boosts the 3x9, a daily tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, preferably raw, paired with freshly ground black pepper, and a pinch of turmeric at lunch. Turmeric, activated by pepper's piperine and carried by the oil's healthy fat, is an artisan ally that modulates inflammatory messengers without insulting the stomach. You don't need exotic supplements. You need consistency with real ingredients. A drizzle over warm vegetables or legumes is enough to build, day by day, a less reactive internal terrain. Third benefit, raising your pain threshold. Pain doesn't travel only through nerves. It also travels through expectations, memories, and fears. When your day has 3 anchors, move, strengthen, breathe, the brain reinterprets the signals. It stops asking, "How much does it hurt?" and starts asking, "What can I do?" That subtle shift transforms experience. People who feel capable hurt less, not by pretending strength, but by recruiting circuits that buffer the pain signal. The 4 to 6 breathing pattern is training for that inner buffer. Fourth benefit, protecting balance and reducing fall risk. The 3x9 quietly challenges your vestibular and proprioceptive systems. Ankle circles and isometric holds teach your feet to talk to your brain. That dialogue prevents slips, unsafe quick turns, and timid steps that end in stumbles. In practice, you'll regain the habit of lifting your gaze to the horizon when walking instead of staring at the ground, and that changes posture and mood. Fifth benefit, improving sleep without sedatives. Local warmth, longer exhalations, and the felt sense of body attended to send closing signals to your alert system. When that signal arrives every night, your body learns to let go earlier. Fewer unnecessary awakenings, fewer 3 a.m. kitchen rounds, and less need for something to sleep. Deeper sleep, even if not very long, repairs tissues, lowers inflammation, and resets hormones that influence pain. Sixth benefit, changing how you talk with your clinician. If you show up saying, "I do 27 minutes of measured self-care daily, and here's what's changed," the conversation shifts. It's less about reflexively raising the dose, and more about refining the plan, maybe using topical anti-inflammatories instead of pills, spacing doses, reviewing interactions, or agreeing on rescue doses instead of daily treatment. Medicine works best when the person participates. The 3x9 makes you the protagonist. Seventh benefit, building a lifestyle that needs fewer prohibitions and more choices. Adding olive oil with turmeric and pepper to a meal isn't being good, it's cultivating a less flammable internal environment. Pair that with 2 glasses of water between meals, not during, to ease kidney workload and lubricate fascia, and you've built a solid base. Later life appreciates the simple. To integrate everything, add a practical nutrition pillar alongside the 3x9, the anti-inflammatory midday plate. It's not a diet, it's a formula. Half the plate colorful vegetables lightly cooked or raw. A quarter quality protein, eggs, well-cooked legumes or fish. And a quarter whole food carbohydrates, brown rice, quinoa, or steamed potato, with that finishing touch of olive oil, turmeric, and pepper. This plate steadies blood sugar, prevents spikes that irritate nerves, and keeps energy even. If you were reaching for a painkiller in mid-afternoon to push through, often it was an energy dip disguised as pain. With steady energy, pain steps down half a notch. About coffee and tea, you don't need to give them up, just make them allies. A morning coffee can accompany mobility if your stomach tolerates it. A ginger tea at midday, thin slices steeped for 5 minutes, soothes digestive discomfort and pairs warmly with lunch. What matters is not the ritual itself, but its coherence with what your body asks for in later life. Gentle, regular cues, not jolts. What if pain flares and the 3x9 feels insufficient? First, breathe. Extend the nighttime block to 12 minutes for 2 to 3 days. Second, use a localized cold pack for 10 minutes in the afternoon if the area is hot and inflamed. Well-dosed cold calms excessive blood flow without numbing for hours. Third, ask your clinician about topical options, creams or gels used on a schedule, that often suffice for short-term flare-ups without burdening stomach or kidneys. Fourth, check your shoes. Stable soles, roomy toe box, good support. The right shoe is a silent analgesic for knees and back. Here are 3 brief stories to light the way. Marta, 74, woke with hand pain. She took a painkiller some mornings to get going. She started the 3x9. After a week, opening the jam jar burned less. After 3 weeks, her first decision changed. Instead of reaching for the pill drawer, she sat by the window for wrist circles. The painkiller became occasional, not ritual. Nothing heroic, just the same small action every morning. Second, Luis, 79, walked with fear because his legs didn't respond. He took an afternoon tablet for his hip to get in a lap. He replaced that moment with 9 minutes of wall isometrics and a 7-minute straight-line walk. In a month, his stride steadied. He discovered he didn't need 2 painkillers, but 2 daily nervous system signals. Your legs hold, your ankles converse with the ground. His improvement wasn't a leap, it was a ramp. Third, Anna, 71, with nighttime low back pain. She took a pill to avoid waking her partner. She changed her strategy. Warm compress, 4 to 6 breathing, and a pillow between her knees when side-lying. In 2 weeks, she no longer needed the tablet. In 6, she'd reclaimed her quiet nighttime reading. She learned that quality sleep dials down daytime pain better than a poorly placed pill. Back to painkillers. This isn't about demonizing them. They have a place, especially for acute processes, after surgeries, or specific spikes. The key is how. Clear doses, defined duration, monitoring for warning signs, and favoring routes that stress the body less when appropriate. Another key is why. If you're using a pill to regain the life you love, pair it with routines that sustain that life. A pill can't build muscle, teach you to breathe, strengthen ankles, or restore your ability to twist your waist when you laugh. Those tasks are yours, and the 3x9 makes them doable. A word on the stomach and liver, the 2 quiet negotiators. Your stomach warns you with heartburn, heaviness, or mild nausea when a drug disagrees. The liver rarely speaks. It shows up as unexplained mid-morning fatigue or dull skin. If your labs are fine yet you still feel lead-heavy, consider that it may not be about more medication, but about decluttering unnecessary ones and prioritizing routines that ease these organs. Extra virgin olive oil, spaced hydration, 2 glasses between meals, and earlier dinners are a trio that lighten the load. Don't forget the mind. Persistent pain dries up joy, and joy lubricates joints. Add a daily gesture that has nothing to do with medicine and everything to do with healing. A short call with someone who makes you laugh. Laughter massages the diaphragm decompresses the low back, and the low back stops raising its hand with every step. The body is a conversation. Each laugh is a kind sentence in that dialogue. If you live with neuropathic pain, that burning or pinprick electricity, add desensitization to the afternoon block. With a soft towel, stroke the area around the pain for 2 minutes without pressing. It seems tiny, but it teaches the skin not to overreact. 2 minutes a day can change how the brain interprets that neighborhood of your body. Know the red flags that call for prompt medical attention: sudden, severe chest pain, shortness of breath with leg swelling, black or bloody stools, persistent vomiting, sudden confusion, high fever, new weakness on one side of the body, or pain that worsens daily despite rest. This message is about empowerment, not going it alone. Caring for yourself includes knowing when to seek help. Here's a closing image to remember the method without effort. Picture a traffic light. Green in the morning, 9 minutes of mobility. Yellow in the afternoon, 9 minutes of isometric strength, proceed with attention. Red at night, 9 minutes of breathing and warmth. Stop, repair, sleep. If the day was heavy, extend the red to 12 minutes and quiet the mind before bed. That traffic light travels with you. No machines needed, only willingness. If you're wondering how long before you notice something, think in weeks, not days. Sometimes the first sign isn't less pain, but I feel more capable. That's the best sign. Capacity opens doors. You go for a walk, you meet someone, you share a laugh, you sleep better that night, and the next day pain drops another half point. Vitality builds in a spiral, not a straight line. Let me compress everything into one powerful sentence. In later life, the best painkiller is a daily strategy that combines micro-movement, gentle strength, slow breathing, and anti-inflammatory nourishment. So pills become occasional support, not a constant crutch. And let's reinforce hope clearly. It is never too late to regain vitality. Your body learns until the very last day if you give it kind, repeated signals. For a simple next step, try a 7-day experiment with the 3x9 habit and the anti-inflammatory midday plate. Observe without judgment. Track 3 things: how you wake up, how you walk in the afternoon, and how you fall asleep. If you notice even a small improvement in one of the 3, you're on the right path. Share in the comments the small change that surprised you most. Your words may be the spark someone else needs to begin. And if this message brought you clarity and calm, subscribe to keep building, together, men's and women's well-being, confidence in relationships, healthy circulation, vitality in later life, and natural habits that add quality to your years. Thank you for being here. Today, your body and you started a new conversation.